Welcome to Daily Steps from One Extraordinary Marriage, where we outline simple steps that you can take to have the ultimate marriage adventure. I'm Tony DeLorenzo, your co-host, along with my beautiful wife, Elisa. In today's show, we answer the question, is there such a thing as falling out of love?
And the question goes on to say, and giving up a 20-year marriage and kids.
Oof.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's heavy. And if you look at popular culture, media, magazines, and even the relationships around you, it's easy to say that the answer is a yes, right? We hear it all the time, people falling out of love. In fact, they've even termed the divorces that are happening after that 20-year mark as gray divorces, right? And the Bowling Green.
Obviously, because you're older and you have gray hair, I'm assuming.
I had gray hair when I was 26. So, what does that say? But there was a study done at Bowling Green State University in Ohio in 2010 that found that 1 in 4 divorces occurred among people age 50 and above. 1 in 4. And, this idea of falling out of love makes love be a noun, right? Something I can go into or out of.
It's an emotional
thing. But the reality is that love is a verb. It's something that we do. And, I find it so fascinating because, I think back to when Tony and I were quote unquote falling in love. And there were a lot of very specific actions that we did. I mean, I remember these marathon conversations. Seriously, guys, we met in the 90s. We met in 1994. So no FaceTime, no IM, no DM, no Snapchat. We actually had to talk on the phone and write letters.
And our phone calls, no kidding, would be 2-3 hours long.
Long distance.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. That was back. Some of you don't even know what long distance phone bills are, right? And so we had to communicate a lot. Because we were long distance, we had to be intentional about the time that we did spend together and how we were going to spend that time. We had to
foster it. We had to cultivate it. We had to be able to water the relationship. And in that, the love that we had for each other, there was an action that we were taking. The action was that we were willing to put ourselves out there, at least to the point of talking on the phone, writing letters to each other, that allowed us to continue to have this, and I'm going to say in air quotes, this feeling of love. Mm-hmm. There have been times, though, in our marriage where we don't have that feeling of love. And guess what? Those are the times when we're not seeing love as a verb, as something you do. Those have been times when we've sat back and we've just sat there and said, I don't have a feeling for you anymore. So I'm not going to do anything anymore. And so, can you fall out of love? I think you can, because what ends up happening, and I think this is where we need to change it around, it's because you're not doing anything to be in love. So the question is, or I should say the answer is, are you doing something that is creating those loving feelings that you once had for your spouse? And so if you're not, what are you going to do?
Right. Because, when we look at that 20-year marriage window where, there are so many divorces happening, it's because typically this couple has gone through raising their children, right? If you think most kids go off to college when they're 18, families have a couple kids. So you kind of fall into that, early 20 to 25 years. That's where a lot of couples are experiencing this because so much attention has been placed on 2 things: raising the kids and building a career. And when there's all of that attention on those things, there's a lot of attention that's not placed on the marriage. It happens all over the place. This is not just one marriage where this is happening. It's happened in our marriage where we've had these seasons where we've been so focused on kids and career that we've literally lost that love and feeling. And so you need to go back literally to what worked in the beginning. Right? What did you do? You actually, I'm telling you, you all sacrificed a lot of time for one another when you first started dating. You spent a lot of time going, what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? How can I look for this other person? Right? You did all of these things and you want to get that love and feeling back. You're going to actually have to take some action. right? Because there was a point in time when this person was your everything, when this person was so important to you and so amazing to you that you said, you know what, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. And if you're not feeling it now, it's because there's been a gap where you haven't been feeding into that energy, where you haven't been saying, you know what, I want to take you out on a date. Or you know what, I'm going to look nice when we go on that date. Like, I'm not just going to, throw on any old thing, but I'm going to wear something that I know you like. Or you know what, I'm going to romance you. I'm going to do those special touches that you like. I'm going to kiss you the way that you like to be kissed. I'm going to touch you the way that you want to be touched. It's amazing that all of those things that worked once, if you start doing them again and bring them into the present, they can actually create an atmosphere where that loving feeling, that falling out of love thing actually falls away. And you can rekindle it. And I know it because I've seen countless couples come through coaching and have that experience where we start talking about what they used to do. If we bring it, back to the future, little Michael J. Fox action there, bring it back to the future, and find that when they start doing that based on who they are today, everything shifts.
If this is an area in which you are struggling, it's time to get help. Check out oneextraordinarymarriage.com/coaching today.